Here's how a single typo almost ruined my game jam submission.
No.
Yeah, it's not working. I won't be able to submit on time. Oh, and in case you didn't know, this was made for a game jam. Basically, a game jam is where you try to make a game from scratch in a ridiculously short amount of time, usually following a theme. It's equal parts creativity and pure chaos. The jam was a bullet hell jam and the theme was unstable, so of course I tried to make an auto-scroller bullet hell. I started with a sprite and made it move. Next, allies. I wanted them to follow the player. Instead, they looked like awkward robots trying to understand human emotion. I tried giving the allies a bit of idle movement, just some small shifts or bobs, so that when they follow the player it doesn't look so robotic or stiff. It's a small detail, but it makes the whole squad feel more alive. Alright, it's shooting time. I whipped up a projectile sprite, then got the allies to wrap around the player in a protective formation, like a little squad shield. Then I made an enemy called Reject Shell. They were supposed to walk up and shoot at the player, but instead, every bullet, mine and theirs, just froze in limbo, a full-on bullet strike. Even the bullets were like, "Nah!" We're on break. Fixed it. Bullets go. Now. I made an enemy spawner. Now enemies just spawn themselves and march straight toward the player like they've got beef. I added hurt boxes to everyone. Player, allies, enemies, no one's safe now. They all got HP, and once it hits 0, boom, gone. I finally made the background art, went for a cyberpunk, glitched out vibe, like the world itself is corrupted code. I tried making the background auto-scroll infinitely, but let's just say it didn't quite seam together. The snap at the end lagged behind like it needed a coffee break. Eventually, I got it to work perfectly. I made a cage sprite. The idea is you rescue allies trapped in these cages, and once they're free, they fight by your side. It's like Pokemon meets Prison Break. After squashing a few bugs, I got allies to spawn inside auto-scrolling cages, and once the cage breaks, they instantly warp to your side and start blasting enemies like they never needed saving. Did a bit of playtesting, and yeah, turns out auto-scrollers are hard. I didn't realize how tricky balancing would be. Too many allies, and it turns into a bullet buffet. Kinda OP, not gonna lie. I hit reset, wiped the slate clean and started fresh. This time I'm turning it into a time-based survival bullet hell. No more slow pacing, just pure chaos on a timer. I made a glitched out portal for ally spawns. I also made such that allies don't just follow you blindly. They've got a chance to go rogue. Some stick with you, some just wander off and do their own thing, taking out enemies on their personal side quest. Basically, I gave them free will. Got allies to finally spawn from the portals. I tweaked the shooting mechanics and made a sharpshooter. Did some early playtesting to see if the chaos feels fun. I added hit flash to allies, and suddenly everyone started flashing like they got shot. Fixed the hit flash bug, but created a new one. Now portals are squatting all over the screen. Okay, I fixed the portals not disappearing, but allies are still stuck in disco mode. So I decided to make my first glitched mini-boss. Added some spooky glitch pixels, gave it a cool name, and it just stood there, doing absolutely nothing, just vibing. Turns out I forgot to give it a brain. Fixed that, gave it some basic AI. Now it moves, shoots, and actually participates in combat like a decent citizen. Put together some glitchy UI art and custom buttons, and hey, the main menu actually came out looking legit. I added a game over screen, and then immediately flooded the map with way too many soldiers. Made a dramatic glitchy portal for the mini-boss, because of course they need an entrance. Dropped it into the game, and yup, it's looking menacing already. Then I thought, this needs lightning, so I made a lightning sprite. And then, boom, lightning now strikes mid-battle. At first it was just a red square placeholder, but I swapped it out for an actual warning sign that blinks right before the lightning hits. I added a medic sprite that runs around healing the player. Definitely useful with all the chaos going on. Hooked it up in-game, added a timer at the top for that survival vibe, and gave the healing some subtle sound effects for feedback. I also added a little +1 visual every time the medic heals. A friend pointed out that my enemies looked a little too similar to my allies. which fair. So I swapped them out for a glitchy wolf sprite that dashes at you, and a floating enemy orb that shoots from a distance. Much clearer, much deadlier. I ended up turning my old reject shell enemy into one of my own allies, gave him a shiny shield icon and everything. Now he acts as a frontline shield soldier, and the shield slowly breaks with each enemy hit, recycled and upgraded. Created a simple health pickup sprite and added it into the game, just to give players a fighting chance. Then suddenly, no enemies, just me, some allies, and a very empty battlefield. I fixed the no enemies bug, but balancing was a whole new problem. First, there were way too many soldiers, then suddenly way too many enemies. After a few tweaks, it ended up feeling decently fair, I think. Made a shotgun power-up sprite, added it into the game, and surprise, it actually worked. Did some bug fixing and cleaned up a few crashes, just the usual game jam stuff. Did some playtesting to see if things were holding up, and surprisingly, nothing exploded. Then, I wrapped it all up with a final boss to complete the loop. Gave it some unique attack mechanics like burst shots and directional waves, just to make sure you couldn't chill at the end. Felt like the right kind of chaos to finish things off. I uploaded to itch.io, and something felt off. The enemies stood still. No logic, no movement. Everything was broken. The deadline had passed. I stared at the console, combed through the logs, tried every fix I could think of, and got nowhere. I was ready to call it. Until a miracle happened. The jam gave us an unexpected 2-hour extension, specifically an additional 2 hours to submit our game. With the clock ticking, I kept exporting, testing, tweaking, until finally, I spotted it. One lowercase typo. That was it. That tiny mistake broke everything.
What?
I fixed the line, re-exported, re-uploaded, and this time, it worked. Somehow, against all odds, I submitted glitched just in time. Thanks for watching. You can check out Glitched on itch.io. Links in the description. I'll see you in the next chaotic devlog, and remember, always spell check your code.